What's up, beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Don't Keep Up With the Joneses. 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 What's up, beautiful people? This video is all about transplanting your seedlings, okay? And so what you all see here is my Jones soil, which I'm also excited about. Like, oh my gosh, it just looks so beautiful. And for those that are new to the channel, hello! My name is Ricky Jones Jr. I love doing gardening videos and teaching you how to garden yourself and let you know that it's not as hard as it may look or you may think. However, hey, all these videos are here to help you grow. But nonetheless, as I am transplanting my seedlings to another seedling holder, what I'm doing is go ahead and putting some soil in the new seedling trays just about halfway so that, hey, everything is nice and snug and good to go, so that as I transplant my small seedlings that you see here into the larger holders, everything will be, good to grow. Okay, y'all know how I like to say that. But nonetheless, as you can see, we have them all here grown. Now you may be wondering, why am I doing this? Why would you do this? Or, so forth and so on. Well, as you all see, the smaller ones that I like to grow in are 12. There are 12 holes per tray, and so I like to just, maximize, knowing too that every seed will not germinate. And so honestly, I did this so that I'm not disappointed, right? On one hand, I'm not disappointed, but then on second hand, I'm able to grow more indoors and things like that. But then thirdly, I like to do this because when I do transplant them, I'm then able to either grow some inside, or I'm able to then take them outside to harden, because technically they can actually grow outdoors from here, whether you are growing in a raised bed, in a grow bag, in a container, or actually in the ground. They can grow from here. However, I do like to just extend the growing period just to make sure it's nice and rich and it's firm, as far as the leaves are concerned, as well as nice and strong and healthy. But then also too, this allows me to buy time, because honestly, I don't know how I want to grow all of these various kale plants themselves. But then too, it's been cold outside, right? So it gives you a lot of varieties of why you will want to do this. But then honestly, the seedlings themselves are growing out of the 12 holder tray, and so it was time to replant, and so we're here. And so here we are, boom shakalaka. Just to show you from a side perspective, what you want to do is have the seedling to be in its new home about the level of the hole opening itself, because it's been designed so that you can water, and the water doesn't exceed out of the size, but then it goes in it and then drain down, which we'll do some watering along the latter part of this video. However, as it's all set up here, you just put the seedling in the hole, then you press down a little bit because it is nice and compacted into the size in which it was already growing, and then you fill in the size from there. My goal is for the new seedling to be placed as close to the center as possible, just so that the roots can do what they need to do, and the plants will be in the center, and it'll just keep them all in their own pocket. And so that's how I'm able to do that, by putting in a little bit, pressing down and things like that. You don't want it to be too tight or anything, but you do want there to be soil on all four sides of the seedling, because soil will allow for the roots to grow, and as the roots to grow, the plants will grow, and as the plant grow, it'll get bigger and bigger, and it gets you happy and happier. And but more than anything, you could even see when I was holding that plant or seedling up, the roots were at the bottom, which is what you want, because inevitably you will start watering from the bottom, which I'll show you all that good stuff. But here we are. And my go-to in selling grow bags, because we do sell grow bags on Garden With Me LLC.com. You'll see grow bags and things like that for sale, and I plan on selling the grow bags with vegetables that I've grown myself, so you know where it was sourced from, grown from, and you know that it was organically grown. So here you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We are now watering from the bottom. So at this point with your seedlings, you do want to do that after it has grown its true leaves, which is the second iteration of leaves. Now you can start watering from the bottom, and I did it from the top to show you all this too. Is you want to make sure your soil is nice and compacted within the space or the seed trays cells themselves. And so I'm showing you the watering. As far as watering on top, it's draining all the way through. You can see instantly it goes through. But then going forward, you water from the bottom. And why I put them in like tray holders and things like that, which you can find a little bit anywhere. But then we also have some extra ones. If you are growing your seedlings in this type of holder, you can also transplant them from here as well, in which they were starting to dry out. So that was even another reason why I was like, let me transplant these bad boys, because they were drying out. And honestly, I believe it was drying out because I wasn't watering it the way I should. However, now in this new holder, I'm good to go. And it was cool because I even have some asparagus growing there too, along with the kale. So I was like, oh man, look at all this growing together. But anyway, I can easily get distracted. However, what I do want to point out is transplanting even these. You may just have to remove some of the soil before, making sure everything is nice and tight, like prom night. But here we go. We have it in there, and the same thing applies. Putting soil on top, making sure it's nice and watered in there very well. And then from there, I will start to water them going forward from the bottom, putting water in the aluminum pan itself, allowing it to wick up through, which it will do. Believe you me, when you do it yourself, it's almost magical how quickly it does it and how it actually does do that, because the roots are at the bottom, and so they want to soak up that water to give nutrients to the plant itself. And now at this point, you can also fertilize with soluble fertilizer, which we talked about in Wednesday's video. So with that being said, great people, go ahead and transplant if you have your seedlings nice and grown. And these are the reasons why. These are the reasons and ways you can. And know that with Garden With Me, you're going to get some organic plants and vegetables in your grow bag. So I love you all, and I'll see you on the next video. Happy growing, happy living. See you on the next one. Peace.